Hey everybody, happy almost Thanksgiving. How are you guys doing? So, we're getting ready to have a big break here, and I wanted to leave you guys with one last art project before we go away on our Thanksgiving break. But first, I'm going to read you a book. It's called The Ugly Pumpkin, and it's a book that I love. My kids love it. You will love it too. It's a silly book, so just listen to it, enjoy the story, and then we're gonna play a game with this book. Well, with the concept of this book, and with a little drawing game that I made up for you guys, and I'm gonna teach it to you, and then I'm gonna post a copy of the way to how to play the game, and I'm gonna walk you guys through it and show it to you so you can do it at home, and you can do it with your brothers and sisters, your friends, your cousins, people coming over for Thanksgiving. You could just play it by yourself if you want to, but you're gonna need one dice and some paper and a pencil, and that's pretty much all you need. Okay, so we're gonna get started with the book called The Ugly Pumpkin by Dave Horowitz. It might seem like it's a little kids book, and it is written that way to be silly, but it's also it's about a really important concept, and there's a moral at the end of it. So I want you guys to just listen and try to think about what you think it means. Okay, all right, here we go. Overhead camera. All right, The Ugly Pumpkin. Let me get this out of the way. We're going to open it up here. There is a little bit of a glare. I'm sorry, that's because of the light. The Ugly Pumpkin. I am the ugly pumpkin, as you can plainly see. Of 100,000 pumpkins, none are quite like me. That's him right there. Since early in October, I've been waiting to get picked, but each time things start looking up, I end up getting tripped. A skeleton came for pumpkins one bright and crispy day. I asked if I could get a ride. He laughed and said, "No way." And when I said, "Well, it's getting late and I don't have a home," he rolled his eye and waved goodbye and left me all alone. So I walked into November, where I happened on some trees. I asked if I could stay a while, and this time I said, "Please?" The trees all started smiling, and then one finally spoke. "Take off your boots and spread your roots." Another cruel joke. See, they're all throwing apples at him. "I am the ugly pumpkin," I shouted to the sky. And then it started raining, and I began to cry. I took shelter in a garden that was overrun with squash. I noticed something very odd, and then thought, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! I'm a squash!" At last, it was Thanksgiving, and I found where I fit in. Now you know my story, so let the feast begin. Happy Thanksgiving! So, what do you think the moral of the story was? About finding a place to fit in, and we all have a place where we belong and where we fit in, and it's okay that we look different. Sometimes people don't accept that though, and we just need to find out who our true friends are, because those are the people who will accept us no matter what we look like. That's the story of the ugly pumpkin. Now we're going to play a game. All right, so you need a blank piece of paper, and you need this sheet of paper, which is what I've got posted on the website or the school websites for you. And what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in here so I can show you how to play this game. It's called the Ugly Pumpkin Drawing Game. So I made it up. but it's based on a game that I've played with you guys before, or some of you guys before. So what you need the dice for is you're going to roll the dice 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And each time you roll, whatever you land on over here, okay, so the first roll is going to be for the face shape of the pumpkin, okay? The second time you roll is going to pick which eyes you're going to use for your pumpkin. The third roll is going to pick which nose you use for your pumpkin. The fourth roll is going to pick which mouth you use. The fifth roll is going to pick your arms, and the sixth roll is going to choose your legs. I'm going to play around with you and show you what I mean, okay? So, for example, here we go. I'm going to move this off to the side just a little bit and kind of move it back and forth over my white paper so you can see what I'm drawing. I'm going to draw with a black Sharpie marker just so you can see, but you should probably just use pencil. So my first roll is going to be for the shape of the pumpkin head. And I rolled a 2. Okay, I rolled a 2. So 2 is over here. So my pumpkin head is going to be a square. I'm going to go ahead and draw a square pumpkin head and give it a little stem. Now when you're done with it, of course, you can give it colors and you can draw a background for it and do all kinds of fun stuff for it. Maybe you can make a bunch of them, like a bunch of friends, misfit looking friends all hanging out together when you're done with your drawing. Okay, the second roll is going to tell me which eyes I'm going to draw. See, I rolled the number 6 this time. So 6 is down here, right here. So over here I look at, because we already did the pumpkin face, so now I'm looking at eyes. These square eyes are the eyes that I'm going to use for my pumpkin now. He's very square so far. We've got 2 square eyes and a square head. Alright, third roll is for the nose, so let's see what we get. Rolled the number 5. So this right here is the number 5. This is going to be his nose right here. Alright, so I'm going to just look at that and copy it onto my paper. Okay. Now the fourth roll, we're going to go for mouth. Let's see what number we get. 6. So it's going to look like this mouth. Oops, sorry, you guys couldn't see that. This is number 6 right here, and this is the mouth that I rolled on. So we're going to do sort of like that. It's just a big, like, sideways peanut. That's what shape it is. I'm just going quick here. I'm not overly concerned about filling every little spot in black. Just playing around here. Okay, so far, that's what his face looks like. Now we're going to roll his arms, so let's see what we get. A 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are his hands here. So he doesn't really have arms so much as he's just got hands coming out of the side of his body. So these are like cartoon hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, because he's already got his thumb. Alright, so he's got these little short stubby hands. And then his legs. Let's see which legs we get now. 5. He's got the duck legs. So we're going to go ahead and give him his duck legs. And there we have it. You have your own ugly pumpkin. And now you can give him some details if you want to. And you can draw. Maybe he lives in a pumpkin patch. Maybe he lives in a forest. Maybe he lives on a farm. I don't know. Maybe he's got some friends. And you can draw a bunch of other ones. I did mine really big in the middle, but you can draw a couple of them on the side or different pieces of paper. You can make up stories about them. You could invent a whole cartoon about these guys, all the different creations, and you could probably make a couple hundred of different creations if you really think about it. Look how many choices you've got. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different heads, right? But you've got 6 of everything to choose from. And so if you don't have a dice at home, you don't need it. Because you can basically just go, I'm going to do everything in this row. Or I'm going to do everything in this row and then add an extra part. Or I'm going to do everything in this row. Or you can do, I'm going to do this one, and 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 this one. And you can just pick and choose. And literally, you can design hundreds of different pumpkin characters. okay? And you can even make up your own game if you wanted to. Keeping with the concept, you can choose different shapes. You know, you just have to make out like a grid for yourself with squares. I have 6 of each because there are 6 sides of a dice. All right, so that's why there are 6 choices for every number that of the dice. Okay, but you can make up your own. You can choose your own shapes, and different eyes and different noses and mouths and hands and feet. Or you can leave some things off and add different things like hair or tail or I don't know, something like that. You can do whatever you want. This is supposed to be fun and silly and just to have a good time. And it's also a really fun game that you can play when family comes over to visit. If you want to teach it to them, you get to be the art teacher. And I would like to see what you guys make. So if you get a chance, I know you're going to be busy with family, but if you get a chance, post me some of your fun, funny creations of your ugly pumpkins, which I bet they're probably not going to be that ugly. I bet they're going to be wonderful. And I would love to see it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a great holiday week, and we'll see you when we get back. Take care.